Good afternoon. This is RFC Monkey giving the latest in my series of flight reports for the online flying sim battle game called Birds of Steel. I play on the Xbox 360, and this game was played this most recent Saturday night, late at night. I had set up a whole series of rooms. These are custom settings, so all sim-level flight controls and airplane control capabilities, and with nothing marked on the map and no marked enemies, also locking enemies to cockpits. So I had a very nice series of games. Not a whole lot of people were out this Saturday night. Most of them seemed to be playing sim games. This evening, in fact, I had a number of people dropping in and out of the games. A few people would pop in, discover that the planes didn't handle the way they liked, or that they didn't enjoy being locked in the cockpit view. Some people, I think, also might have been looking to fly in bombers, and many of the bombers in this game don't have a cockpit view. I find that quite frustrating, so I wouldn't fly a bomber in these games, and I suppose if somebody came into my room and couldn't see the cockpit of their bomber, they might also leave. I am currently in a long push to try to get 30 online player kills. I'm working towards unlocking the only skin, the secondary skin that's available for the Spitfire Mark II, which is what I'm flying right here. It's an early war Spitfire, and it takes 30 kills against online players in online games in order to unlock that skin. I got actually a handful of kills in this series of games. This was not quite the last game in my series of games that Saturday night, but this was one of many of them, and I've discovered in general that getting altitude early really helps in energy conservation in this plane. It becomes absolutely critical. Trying to maneuver just after takeoff is a pain. I see a lot of players taking off and then flying low in order to stay hidden, so staying low over the landscape, especially down there across those buildings. They're really difficult to track, but they've got no energy to maneuver, and it seems like if you want to maneuver, you've got to climb a little altitude. Things I'm working on currently, trying to improve my own flight skills. I'm not that great a pilot, but this is things I'm trying to improve. My look around, first of all, trying to make sure I can spot enemy planes, and the whole first section of this video is me trying to figure out where anybody else in this game is. A lot of looking around, trying to spot either AI planes or enemy planes, human planes. The second thing I'm trying to work on, because the AI just came right behind me. Actually, I'll interrupt my comment to sort of say this actually worked very well. Tracking enemies visually is another thing I'm working on, and you can see I'm trying to do a tight turn, keep my nose close to the horizon, but keeping that enemy who's coming after me in view. These AI are tenacious, like bulldogs. Once they're on your tail, they will not leave unless they get shot off, or you can reverse it on them. So that's a AI G50 after me. I'm losing a lot of altitude, but I am managing to outturn him. I'm keeping up that turn, and you can see a couple seconds here, my plane starts to dip a little bit. I'm losing my energy and I start to stall out, but I try to avoid that there, so it goes right there, dips. I try to pull a little bit straight, keep an eye on that enemy plane, drop my nose again for a little bit more velocity, and you can't see him there. He goes, he's reversed, and so I'm actually able to track that reverse. A couple snapshots off. Doesn't seem to do anything to him, but now he's just dropped his nose just near that crashed plane over there, and I'm able to again track him. He's right above the clouds. Above the trees, and I had an AI teammate guy come help me out and try to steal my kill. I've got my gun convergence set at about 150 meters, so I need this guy to be just about, if not just about that tips. We're all a little close there, but I managed to get a shot off. So in addition to looking around, I'm also trying to fly smoothly, and I'm also trying to work on my gunnery. Especially the last game I played, I did a lot of turning, a lot of shooting while turning. My shots went far and wide, didn't land on the enemy, so I'm working on getting my gunnery down as well. The next thing I'm supposed to be working on, and again I don't think I accomplished it very well in this video, is a bit more defensive looking around, keeping an eye on my tail. In fact, this is an exact example there. I didn't even see what happened, but something came up behind me and hit me, locked my spattered oil all over my windshield. So when I play this game, I like to try to, ordinarily I could just bail out or something, but let me just see if I can't find a spot to land. So here I am, I drop my wheels down, I'm actually looking for a spot to land, my engine kicks out, because I know I'm in deep trouble. But the worst is yet to come, because just at that point, the AI who shot at me smacked into me. Now, ironically, we each get a kill for that collision. I had no idea he was there. And for those of you who are my Birds of Steel mates, I'd like to report that that was indeed Pedro that ran into me. So Pedro has become the bane and the nemesis of all the Birds of Steel guys, and he's once again back at the top of my enemy list. That was kind of an inauspicious beginning. Managed an AI kill, and then a collision, or Pedro collided with me, and we both got credit for that kill. Once again, here I am taking off of the airstrip. Now, I seem to miss a lot when other players join my game, and by this point, a pilot named Six Guns had joined the game on the other side, and I did not know that he was in the game. In fact, I had to learn it the hard way. So I take off from my airstrip, and I begin. There goes the flaps up and the wheels up, and I try a little bit of a chandelle in order to gain some altitude, not too much at one time. Got to try to maintain my chance to gain airspeed as I turn around and fly. And right there, shots coming from behind. So I try an evasive, but I cannot see who it is behind me at the headrest. So since I'm so close to my airfield, what I figured I would do is I would drag the guy through my landing gun. So I'd go low, thinking he's got to chase after me, and hoping that some of my ground gunners would fire. I see them firing there. Look back over my shoulder, and you can see that I've actually managed to accidentally outturn the enemy. He's flying in a 110, a BF 110. Knowing that I had the advantage on the turn there, I begin going into a scissors maneuver. So there's my second scissors. Glance back, there he is again, and my mistake here is I should have gone for a third scissor maneuver. I managed to beat him on this one, but not enough to get behind him. I figured I can go ahead and continue the loop around and catch up behind him, but may not be able to tell very easily, but he lost his energy there and smacked into the ground. So while I did not manage to get an official credit for that kill, I certainly A, survived, which is a big deal, and B, managed to trick him into losing velocity, and in the end he smacked him to the ground because of it, which I think is pretty good. Either that or it's possible, I suppose, that my ground gunners had hurt him enough to make him crash. But I'll go ahead and take that as a defensive success in this case. Once again, one of the reasons why hugging low to the ground is dangerous. If you lose velocity, you're in deep trouble. So now, knowing that this guy's out there, I decided to head towards the enemy air base. The second thing that I was going to try here too is I figured if this guy is perfectly willing to attack me just after takeoff, then fair is fair, and I can attack him just after takeoff. I don't like to hit people when they're on the runway. I think that's a little bit frustrating, unless I'm in a bomber. But I figured I would wait around and see if I couldn't catch him just after takeoff and give him a taste of his own medicine. So there's the enemy airstrip up ahead. I'm trying to keep an eye on where he is now. I suspect what actually happened is he managed to take off a little bit earlier than I did. There was a G-50 just flew underneath me and let it go. So I really want to try to catch this guy if I can. He was in a 110 before, so I assumed he was going to be in a 110 when he respawned. And I figured if he was going to do that, he was probably going to hug low over the trees. I keep not seeing anybody take off, so, and again, I don't want to hit him on the airstrip, so rather than go too close, and actually, the closer you get, the gunners on the ground find you and start shooting at you, and the skills player will search the sky for where the flak bursts are, because that'll tell you where the enemy is. So he's clearly not down there. He's already taken off, in fact. So I decided to reverse it and head back out into the general playing field. All those ground explosions down there are where you see the center of the city, and in the game, the center piece to capture is located right up there. And you can see the ground crew shooting at me as I fly away. Keep headed this direction and hoping to be able to spot somebody. I don't know where he is at this point. So I'm gradually making my way back to the center of the field, hoping to spot something or somebody or him. Maybe I assume at this point he'd gone by. So I'm actually stalking for him. My idea is if I can get a... Oops, sorry, I thought that's the TV obviously while I was recording. My idea is if I can quickly get a kill, I can increase the number of kills I get. I think when I started this evening, I think I had 12. And so I needed 30 eventually. There's another 18 kills maybe to unlock the next skin. So at this point now, I'm trying to stay alert, keeping an eye out for where anybody might be. See if I can spot this guy. Again, nothing is taken off from the airstrip down there. So that little explosion you saw down there at the bottom, that is another player who just logged into the game, and he hit the ground he ran into something on takeoff, which means that he's not used to flying any of these this level of game where there's an engine torque that will cause you to veer to one side during takeoff. He wasn't quite prepared for that. I think my very first game when I was doing this stuff, I must have slammed into the side of things just off the runway 3 or 4 times before I finally figured out how to deal with the torque. There's somebody who's just now learning. Now, that plane there, I quickly identified as a BF-109, so that's the guy I'm looking for. I track him, try to keep my turn gradual, and this is going to be a bit of a stalking deal. I want to follow up, stay behind him, and track him visually. You can see he's just almost underneath my target reticle, but he's still a couple hundred meters away. He's doing a lot of ups and downs. Not sure who he's after. There's the airplanes in the area. And managed to come up on him, and I fired too soon. Now, ordinarily a good player would have been alerted, but he dropped his nose right in front of my guns. And I thought he was going to drop that in front of me. He evened out, like an evened out level. I'm right behind him, which gives me a chance at a shot, and managed to shoot his right wing off. Now, once again, I always laugh at the injury marker there. It says it hit his cooling tank. And now that he's smashed into the ground, I've also managed to damage his left aileron. Of course, I couldn't damage his right aileron because I shot that one off a few minutes ago. Sometimes those little damage messages aren't that great. So one more kill for my record book. Got a 109. I'm not sure which level of 109 he was flying, but managed to take him out on that one. So now I know he's got to be respawning again sometime pretty soon. And so just to keep an eye on where he might be, I head towards his airstrip. Check behind me. There's at least one good look behind me. Keeping an eye on his airstrip, knowing that any second he's going to be taking off again. So trying to stick a little bit to the side. Rather than do a head-on, give him a chance to shoot at me, I decided to be a little bit stealthy and stick off to the side. Trying to stay higher than he could get just after takeoff so that I can defeat him on energy if I can. And once again, I did not see him take off, so I didn't get up there fast enough. He managed to take off faster than I expected to. So I reverse at this point to go back to the middle of the field, hoping to catch up to him somewhere up here. Managed to spot a couple of planes. One's flying high, and one is flying across my middle level. And looks like there's some shooting going on. So I'm trying to track that plane a little bit higher, stay on him a little bit. And it looks like that is in fact he's back in the 109 again. So I turn with him, and he banks and drops his nose down. So I try to stay behind him. Sometimes when I'm stalking somebody, I try to stay behind them and a little bit lower, just in case they do check their sixes. The 109s, it's really hard to see behind you because you got that. At least in the early ones, you got the armor shield and the chair gets in the way. So if you can stay kind of below somebody, they'll often not have any clue that you're there. You can hold your fire until the most dangerous time. He drops down the dive. My fear was that him diving, he would be able to out-energy the Spitfire. Turned with him and managed to stick up behind him. So still stalking, still on his tail. And for some reason, I've got him energy-wise. I'm catching up here. And a quick burst right there, I'll call that good shooting, because a quick burst drops him down again. So that's 2 kills on a player, plus I think I'm going to go ahead and score that first one as kind of a defensive kill. Beat him with the scissors and caused him to lose his energy. So not a bad sortie for this game. In fact, this whole series of games I had this night, I did not manage. I did not manage to get shot down at all. I got smashed down like you saw there with Pedro, but lots of lands and repairs and a couple kills, about 5 kills or so. So thank you guys for listening. I'll post my next flight report in about a week. Cheers.